This was me a year ago. Everyone's loving these Chihiros lights. They can't really be that good. I'm not going to fall into that little mutual appreciation bubble. This was me a few months ago. Look, I know I said I wouldn't get caught up in the hype, but this new Chihiros A series has Bluetooth control. It's only going to cost me 40 quid. This was me a few weeks ago. Well, actually, I do need a new light for when I move the Dennerle Scapers Tank. Yet another thing to fuel my new AliExpress addiction. So yeah, this arrived a few weeks ago and I have been testing it out. The Chihiros A Series Mark II. Kind of sounds like a souped up boy racer's car revving its engine in the car park at the back of the bus station, but I'm not going to hold that against it. The man with a car history of practical estates with a roof rack and tow bar is going to give this boy racer aquarium light a fair and impartial review. So here we go. What's this light got to offer? Straight out of the box you get all the usual features you would expect. It has a power adapter and cord and two clear acrylic clips which will secure the light to the tank. These lights are supplied in a range of different sizes with 5cm increments. I'm using this on a 55 litre Dennerle Scapers tank, so I've bought a 45cm model which is 21 watts with 50 LEDs. All the models have a colour temperature of 8000 Kelvin and the lumen output ranges from 1400 to 4800 depending on the model size, and have a wavelength range of 400 to 700 nanometers with an emphasis on the red and blue range. Picking these units up is not as straightforward as eBay or Amazon, unfortunately, but recently I've become a complete convert to AliExpress. You can pick up aquarium products for a fraction of the price, and you can now check out securely via PayPal, so you have all the usual money-back guarantees if anything goes wrong. I picked up my unit for £40 and it's shipped from China in 2 weeks. I'll leave a link to the AliExpress listing in the video description if you're interested in buying one of these lights. So the first thing you will notice when you get the light out of the box is just how slim this unit is. It is 6.7 centimeters wide and only 1 centimeter high. It truly is a very sleek design, and coupled with the clear acrylic clips, it looks very clean and simplistic. The acrylic clips also allow you to swivel the light to illuminate the tank in a range of different ways, and they have small plastic screws to secure the clip to the glass. The clips themselves are 1 centimeter wide, so will fit on most tank glass, I should imagine. The little plastic screws are probably unnecessary in most instances. However, I have used them because the fit with the Dennerle Scapers Tank lid is pretty snug, so this stops the light from lifting up when I remove the lid. The key selling point about this light for me is that it has a Bluetooth controller built in. On other budget-friendly Chihiros models, you have to purchase a separate controller if you want this kind of functionality. But with this model, you can control everything with your smartphone straight out of the box. The app itself is pretty straightforward to use. You sign up for an account and then just add the device. It took a little while to search for the device, and I did think it's a little odd how it just appeared in quite small white text on the screen whilst the search animation was still spinning. But once I realised that I had to click on this white text, it then loaded up the device settings pretty quickly, and everything from here on was pretty easy to navigate. You get a modest amount of customization. It's not all singing, all dancing in terms of red, green, blue control or anything like that, but you can set the LED intensity from 0% to 100%, and the nanometer wavelength is really pleasing on the eye. Here's a quick look at the light operating at 0% intensity, at 25% intensity, at 75% intensity, and at 100%. As well as manually controlling the light intensity, the app also allows you to set up an automatic routine. You can set a sunrise and sunset time and schedule the intensity to ramp up and ramp down automatically. All of this is most easily done via the quick set feature, which will take you through the options one by one, asking simple questions. Once set up, the schedule is nicely visualized in a daily graph, and you can preview how the lamp will operate. For me personally, I like to run all of my lights off the same extension lead, which is attached to a smart plug, so I will just be using the manual controls to adjust the intensity. For the past couple of weeks, I've been running this light for 7 hours a day at 50%. This seems about right for my purposes and the density of plants in my Dragonstone tank. I think 100% would only be appropriate if you had a really densely planted tank, and to be honest, I may even adjust this down slightly because I'm concerned that the green spot algae seems to appear slightly quicker since my last maintenance session than it ever did when this tank was under my Aquarium LED Slim Link. Nevertheless, it is really useful to have the option to increase or reduce the light intensity to suit your purposes via a smartphone. Comparison wise, I don't have a wealth of lights to compare it to. I don't have anything fancy like Twin Star in my fish room, and I have no experience of more expensive Chihiros models. My main light in the fish room is the budget friendly but high spec Aquarium LED Slim Link, and I have to say that colour temperature wise, I can really see a difference in how the Chihiros A Series Mark II makes my plants pop. I really have been quite impressed, and for such an affordable light, I've been very pleasantly surprised by its quality. Obviously this unit does not have the same level of customization as my LED Slim Link in terms of individual RGB control and other gimmicks like the lightning storm feature, but the settings straight out of the box are very impressive. In addition to great colour, the unit is also very stylishly designed, and it has a really premium look despite the budget-friendly price. So, despite my initial reticence to jump on the Chihiros bandwagon, I do have to admit that this light is very impressive. It makes me intrigued as to what the other more expensive models are like, and I'd certainly recommend trying the A-Series Mark II if you're in the market for an affordable aquarium light that looks good and is easily controlled via your smartphone. If you have any experiences of Chihiros lights, please share them with us all in the comments. I'm really interested to hear what people think, and as ever, feel free to drop me any questions about the light and I'll be sure to answer them. So that's it for this week. The reason I was moving this tank up a level on the rack is because, of course, I have an awesome new project in the pipeline. So stay tuned for that, and I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching.